Good evening, or was a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Wednesday the 12th of July. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And I have a parcel to unbox. So let's find out what is in here. This is 45 years of 2000 AD. 45 artists celebrate the galaxy's greatest comic anniversary art book. 45 years of 2000 AD. To celebrate 45 years of bringing thrill power to Earthlets, Thor the Mighty has tasked 45 of Earth's most popular comic and illustration artists to interpret the characters featured on the pages of the galaxy's greatest comic 2000 AD. Featuring all new artwork by Jamie Smart, Hannah Templer, Michael Aldred, Kevin O'Neill and Rachel Stott, and many more. So this is an art book, just a general art book for 2000 AD. 2000 AD is Britain's sort of longest running science fiction comic, anyway, at least because it's approaching its 50th anniversary in what? I'm trying to think, in 2027. Really coming out in the year of Star Wars, but reflecting the sort of like how can I put it, the sort of the impish, punkish, fascist, leaning right wing sort of like feel of living in Britain in the 70s, as much as the flash and bang of the science fiction of Star Wars, because at the time, you know, Star Wars was really big, but at 2000 AD was basically a comic in which other stories could be told, including, of course, most famously, you know, the satire of Judge Dredd. So I'll open up, got a nice little shot of the artwork. And it's a nice, simple, clear introduction. Some of the artwork there. So this is the really celebrate 2000 AD's 45th anniversary in February 2022 with the release of Prod 270. You know, literally 2000th and 70th issue to be released on a weekly schedule. So yeah. We open up, and here we have some iconic reimaginings of some of the classic characters from the pages of 2000 AD. So we start off with Flesh, the dinosaur, the T-Rex, which would bother basically a deadly nuisance for the farmers who would basically travel back in time on the ranches to herd dinosaurs for their meat. And as you can see, each you have sort of like, you know, not just a really nice piece of artwork, you've got the excerpt from, you know, including the description of the issue where that story first, that character and that strip first appeared. And then do the same for Harlem Heroes, another long running series. And a lot of these stories have been collected in complete volumes, which you can find, and then so, you know, including multiple volumes of Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd here, just an iconic character, the ultimate fascist bully boy, you know, the application of law without compassion for the most part. We have Sharko, again, another natural horror. So instead of dinosaurs here, we have a polar bear, just as deadly. And there was sort of like, you know, so if you think about Flesh and also Sharko, the other one to look at would have been Hook, I think, which is the name of the comic strip involving a shark driven mad by with a hook in its mouth. Interesting, sort of like Invisible Man, again where he first appeared. And then another iconic character from the series, from the comic, is Strontium Dog. and Kevin O'Neill, of course, great artist, and Roadbusters, basically the troubleshooting robots, and then a series I've not read or would love to read actually, because Ant Wars. Interesting, because actually one of my favourite films is Them, which is a brilliant B movie about giant ants coming out of the Nevada desert. Robo Hunter, basically man versus rogue robot. Black Hawk is not one I'm familiar with, because I've sort of dip into 2000 AD back in and out over the years. Read sort of like the classic stories, and then one of the A.B.C. Warriors, Hammerstein. Another iconic character from the Judge Dredd strip, Judge Anderson, the famous side judge, and primal enemy of the judges, the Dark Judges, is the antithesis of Judge Dredd. We also have one of his big enemies, big perps, is Mean Machine Angel, and Chief Judge Hershey, and another is Nemesis the Warlock, the anti-hero, opposing leader of the resistance, and complete and the enemy of the diabolically evil Torquemada and its cruel galactic termite empire. The term basically Torquemada's secret police, who enforced the slogan of "Be pure, be vigilant, behave," which is a fantastic slogan. It's so authoritarian and so brilliant. And another Mean Machine Angel's brother, Think Angel, who would always operate alone from his brothers, part of it, out of preference. Another nemesis of Judge Dredd, Chopper, who was a Marlon Chopper Shakespeare, who essentially is a war-scrolling Jew who became a champion sky surfer. Rogue Trooper, the genetic infantry soldier who fought battles on the New Earth. And then sort of like one of the more comedic one, Ace Trucking, essentially tells of intergalactic trucking. And then Harry 20 in the Hierarchy, essentially it's a prison escape, but the prison, as you can see in this image here, the prison itself is in orbit, and thus, of course, meant to be inescapable. And Skiz, story about essentially sort of like an anti-ET story. Skiz comes to Earth and has to survive, and the ultimate anti-authoritarian, anarchic characters, DR and Quinch. Infamously, mind the oranges, Marlon. Slain, a gloriously fantastic Celtic warrior. And then probably the greatest comic strip never to be completed, Halo Jones. Just worth tracking down, even reading for what's the stories that have been written. Durham Red, Vampire Mutant, and essentially Strontium Dogs, Johnny Alpha's Bet Noir, as it were, and Zenith, the egotistical pop star and sort of like would-be superhero. Devon War, adventurer. Let's see. And so we've got in here another adventurer who played Dante. Just flipping forward. So there are quite a lot in here I don't recognise. So I don't know Low Life, and I don't know But I mean, that's all on me, you know. That is, it's just stuff I haven't read over the years because there's been so much of it. And that looks interesting. Frontier town, the other end of nowhere, where a judge has to enforce the law. And then we have essentially the classic covers, reprints of these. So you've got 2000 AD 1, and then 2000 AD Prog 2, essentially Prog 1, and then 2270. And the whole sort of like thing about calling them progs or programs was, you know, innovative, and so on. You know, it set 2000 AD apart. So anyway, that's 45 years of 2000 AD, and inspiring art and artists. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing of the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be able to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you will see me out here with a package containing a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. We'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.